as Brendan Rodgers bottled it again. Leicester City 2, Newcastle United 4. It was, in truth, a drumming tonight. A very late resurgence, two very late goals for Leicester City. Another for Iheanacho as well, by the way. But too much, too little, too late. And Brendan Rodgers and his men are going to be up against it between now and the end of the season. When we take a look here at the current league standings. Let's get this off of live. Let's get this onto right now. Actually, no, we need to leave it on live because they're on 35 games. They've got 3 games remaining. A Chelsea win tomorrow and Leicester City drop to 4th. But it's the run-in. It's the run-in. It's the last 3 games. Chelsea have got some tough matches. There's no doubt about that. We'll touch on Chelsea in a minute. But West Ham play Everton, Brighton, West Brom, Southampton. Everton, Brighton, West Brom, Southampton. Legitimately, 9 to 12 points available for West Ham. When you look at Leicester, their remaining 3 games are Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham. It is not inconceivable that they do not pick up another point. It is not inconceivable. Chelsea will now finish 3rd as a matter of course. But West Ham United have had the door open massively. And who knows, with Liverpool and Tottenham, if they go on a really good run, win their remaining 4 games, they could find themselves sneaking a place. Is Brendan Rodgers again going to bottle a top 4 race with Leicester and throw away another leading position as a Premier League manager? There is no doubt about it. Brendan Rodgers is one of the very best coaches in world football, the way his teams play, the structure of his sides. But the minerals, the mentality, not there. Simply doesn't exist. Simply doesn't exist. And I don't like to be overtly hyperbolic, but I've been calling him a bottle of... People talk about, I'd have him at Man United. Why? Tottenham. Why do you want him? He has no pedigree of winning at the elite level or achieving things for the standard of club that he is at. He always falls away. He always trips at the most opportune moment. He really and truly does. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. They are not going to make the top 4. I'm saying it now. Leicester City will not make the top 4 unless everybody else below them loses more points than them. But they will be lucky to win 1 more game this season. Man United will beat them at Old Trafford. Chelsea will beat them. And it may just go down to the final day of the season against Tottenham. And who knows with Spurs' run. Spurs might find themselves in a position where if they win on the final day of the season, they make the top 4. And then it becomes, it could be the battle of the bottlers. It could be the battle of the bottlers on the final day of the season. Could be a madness. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Hit the share button as well. I'd love to hear from some Leicester City fans tonight. If anyone will phone in, we're going to share the link in a few moments. Edward here says, this Chelsea team plays better against the big teams. Chelsea are going to finish 3rd, even if we lose tomorrow. Edward, I wouldn't even... Chelsea are a shoo-in now for the top 4 after Leicester dropping points. It gives Man United, considering Man United as well, have this, what we're playing, 38 games in a week or something, right? We're always going to drop points. Leicester have just given Man United another opportunity here to have a mess up and a mistake ourselves. It's Tim Pot. Legitimately Tim Pot. C says Rodgers would be perfect for Spurs bottle jobs. King Cantonar 14 says, shout out to the Ollie Outers who wanted Brendan Rodgers. I'm pouring liquor out for you right now. And you know what? I left my drink. Oh no, it didn't. There it is. There's mine. Just a little glass of whiskey and coke on a Friday night. I wasn't going to stream tonight, and I had to. I simply had to. There's no doubt about it. Let's do some more of these comments. Ryan here with a super chat says, look at West Ham's fixtures, Terry. Easiest running. And West Ham have no business, with all due respect, with their manager and their squad size and overall quality. They have no business to be in this race. Leicester should have put this to bed ages ago. But that is, when you look at it now, that's 2 wins in their last 6 games, 3 defeats and 1 draw in that. And one of those defeats, of course, was to West Ham United. Honestly, I think West Ham will beat Everton tomorrow, and I think they'll beat Brighton, and I think they'll beat West Brom. I honestly think West Ham are going to win their next 3 games, and I think Leicester are going to lose their next 2 games. And if they lose 6-point swing from this point, from this stage here, 6 points to West Ham from this stage will put them on to 60. They'll go in front of them. West Ham in the next 2 games are going to go in front of Leicester City. Chelsea will find themselves in 3rd. Wow, what an opportunity. And then you look at Liverpool here. Liverpool, it's in your hands again now. Win your game in hand. Win your game in hand. You've got an opportunity. You're only 4 points behind West Ham and you're a better side. Opening the doors consistently. Honestly, I'm going to start calling them Bellboy FC. They're just consistently opening doors for people all day long. Question for Leicester fans, what would you rather have, top 4 or a FA Cup? You know what? Like, the FA Cup's a 50-50 game. They were clear. They were clear in the top 4 by points and points and points. It's atrocious to be in this situation. Absolutely poor. Absolutely, categorically, undeniably poor. In every which way. Every which way you can put this, twist this, think about this. I'm going to share the link. If people want to come on, I'm going to put it into the group chat here. I'm not sure. It's a Friday night, so people are clearly busy. People are always busy doing something. I don't know what they're up to, but they're obviously busy. Okay, Kendall will be on soon. Kendall will be on very, very soon indeed. Bear with me a second. I've just got to put it into here. And I'm going to share it on the... There we go. And I'm going to share it on the Discord server. The general chat is where it's going to go now. So if you want to come on and have your say this evening, we want to hear from you. Leicester City fans as well, where you at? I need to hear from you right now. I need to know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Twisty said, Leicester are 3rd after 35 games. Context, where is the respect? They're throwing it away again. Leicester not finishing in the top 4 isn't an embarrassment. If you notice, I haven't mentioned Leicester. I think they've got good players, good squad, very well-run club. Their manager is a bottle job. Brendan Rodgers has no bottle. No, he's a coward. And you see it in his teams. Whenever there is a fight to be had, yellow belly. Yellow belly FC. Imagine Newcastle, a team almost relegated, pamming 4 past you. Nah, not having it. Not having it at all. There is no defending Brendan Rodgers on this one. I'm going to share the link now on the general chat page. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're thinking and you're feeling. Especially we've got some Leicester. We must have some Leicester fans in the house. You're surely not going to pull out of this tonight and not phone in. We want to hear from you. I've shared it on the general chat page. I'm going to share it on the Leicester chat page as well. I want you to come on. I want you to speak to us. I want you to tell us how you're thinking and you're feeling. Leicester fans, are you going to make the top 4? West Ham fans watching, how do you feel about this? I want to know. And where's my guy George tonight? Where's my guy George tonight? He's always here for the rivals. Where are you tonight, my friend? We're talking Leicester City. We're talking about Brendan. I've got no bottle. Rodgers. We're talking about the top 4. First on though, my brother's here, man like Neeks from Neek Sports, and he's had a busy week, month end, the life of an accountant. We're gonna get him on just now. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm all right. I'm all right. Listen, as you said, it's been a busy week. So much so that I slept through most of the game. But I saw the last half an hour.
I love that, brother. Honestly, I had some dinner and I was watching it and I was thinking, I would give myself a break all week. I weren't going to stream. And then one goal, two goal. Once the fourth goal went in, I'm like, I've got to stream. I have to stream and talk about this bot. Can you imagine? I mean, a lot of people have said Rodgers to Man United. And after Poch got beat in the week and was outclassed, I saw them leave Poch. A lot of the Pochophiles were like, I'm leaving Poch and I want Rodgers to come in at Man United. If we announce Rodgers tomorrow, would you be excited or worried?
I would be fuming because honestly, if we really wanted Rodgers, we should have got Rodgers a while ago. Like, what would you said? Obviously, it's not going to happen tomorrow. But if it was announced tomorrow, it's like, what are you basing it on? Are you basing it on him struggling to get top four? Like, or if you got him 2 years ago, are you basing it on him winning trophies with Celtic? Like, I need something more concrete from him to say, yeah, you're ready to manage Man United. We know why Solskjaer got the job. It wasn't based on his CV or anything like that. But if you're going to replace him, you need to replace him with someone of some substance, some sustenance. And Rodgers ain't got that. He's got good football, he's got good coaching. But for Manchester United, good football and good coaching isn't enough. We know with the amount of pressure that we put on Solskjaer, we have to win trophies. Solskjaer got the job because he had a good run in 3 months. We're run by a bunch of idiots, and he's a club legend. If he didn't have that run of 3 months, if he wasn't a club legend, and if he wasn't run by a bunch of idiots, he wouldn't have got the job. So are we going to compound it by getting someone who's also haven't achieved anything? No. We stick with Solskjaer. If he doesn't achieve, you get someone through proper due diligence who can actually succeed at Man United. And Rodgers ain't proved that he can succeed at a big club.
Mate, I completely and utterly agree. You look at their running now, Leicester. Can you see them making the top four now? They have got Chelsea, Man United, and Tottenham as their final 3 games.
Well, listen, their only saving grace is, so they're playing Man United next. Their only saving grace is the fixtures that we've been given in terms of back to back to back. Yeah. So we've got Aston Villa tomorrow, which I would, now that Leicester have lost this game, I want to put a strong team. We put a strong team, win the game, secure second. Whatever happens against Leicester, if we lose to Leicester, I don't really mind because we've secured second. Obviously, Liverpool game, you want to win regardless of where you're first, second, 20th, you want to win that. So we have a strong team against Villa, a strong team against Liverpool, which means we're going to have to rotate against Leicester. That's Leicester's saving grace. The fact that we might have to rotate against Leicester and they have a good away record. If they can pick up another 3 points, I think they would just sneak into the top 4. But as I said, 3 points ain't easy to come by because I can't see them going away and beating Chelsea. And then their home record is not good and they're playing Spurs on the last day of the season. So I think their saving grace is the fact that we're probably going to rest up against them because of the fixture list.
Because of the fixtures, I agree. But this is where look, Brendan, for me, we'll see what we'll do in the FA Cup final as well. I cannot see him beating Chelsea in that. This is the point. If West Ham win tomorrow, though, they will lose to us because when you look at Leicester City, or forget Leicester, because Leicester have won a damn Premier League in the last 5 years. When it comes to Brendan Rodgers in his Premier League career, stereotypically, when it comes to the crunch and he has to win, he doesn't.
Yeah.
When it comes, they were on a better run of form. Like at the end of the season, Man United last year were dying on our backsides. And on that final day of the season, they didn't lay a glove on us. We weren't even that good. And they didn't lay a glove on us because they just didn't have it within them. And they have quality players in that squad. I looked at the team tonight. I mean, I thought Fofana and Sancho actually had disgustingly bad games.
Well, I'll tell you what, Terry. It's funny because, and it does. I'm not going to discredit these players, but Maguire was talked up. Fofana's been talked up. Soyuncu was talked up. All of them were playing next to Johnny Evans. He's the only one who, of all the centre backs that they've played in the last couple of years, the partnerships, he's the only one who I guess has gone under the radar because he was at Man United and he dropped down a level. The rest of them have risen up to the
Yeah.
level of playing for Leicester, when in fact he's the only constant there. He gets injured before kickoff, and look what happens.
Mate, no, there's definitely that, and he's a player that doesn't get enough respect, in my opinion, for what he's done since he left. But as I was saying, you look at that team, and there's quality players throughout, but it's a Brendan Rodgers thing. I honestly think that he just oozes cowardice, and it seeps into his team. And if West Ham win tomorrow and Man United beat Villa, and it puts it it'll be do or die then against Manchester United in terms of opening the door, they'll bottle it. And then when they bottle that, I don't want to hear a Man United fan ever again. I don't want to hear a Tottenham fan, an Arsenal fan. I don't want to hear any fan of a big club ask for Brendan Rodgers until he gets over this habitual habit of choking. He's an absolute choke artist. He is. He did it at Liverpool.
He sounds perfect for Spurs then, isn't it?
He does. He does sound perfect for Spurs in terms of their history. There's no doubt. Listen, Neeks, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. Top man as ever. Speak to you soon, big man. Take care. Enjoy your evening. Next on the show, Latimus is here. Latimus Prime's in the house. We've got Tom backstage, Aaron backstage, Gunnar Express backstage, Ryan backstage, Mark. We've got loads of people. But next up, Prime's here. What's going on, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, very quiet, though.
Oh, 1 second. What the hell? Yep.
Still speak normally?
Hello?
Yeah, you're just quiet. It'll be your master volume of your mic low.
Go to someone else, sorry.
Okay, I'll come back to you in a minute. I'm going to go to Tom. Tom's with us here. Now, I want I'm not going to put no words in your mouth. Give me your reaction. 4-2, Newcastle, Leicester City crumbling. Give me your thoughts.
Well, one part of me is very happy because I know Brendan Rodgers. I know that when it comes to it, the man's a bottle job. But I'll get to that later. I'm shitting myself because it's in our hands. And we've had it multiple times in our hands this season against Leeds, against Newcastle. And every time we fuck it up. This is the one time we can't risk it. This is the one time where you have to properly take this by the scruff of the neck. We've been given a lifeline here. Chelsea have a hard run in. Leicester have a hard run in. There's an avenue back in. And we have, barring yous, but yous have your own issues with fixture congestion, which gives us a little bit of a hope. We have a relatively easy run. This is the best chance to make up for this season that we've got.
I could not agree with you more. It makes the Manchester United-Liverpool game next Thursday.
Oh, well, we haven't won at Old Trafford since 2014, and now we have to win it.
Depending on the results, though. So Leicester are going to play, and Man United played twice before that, which means you've got a great opportunity because they're going to be knackered. If you win this weekend and we beat Leicester, you beat us, and you could then be making the top four. I mean, again, the results go your way between now and Thursday, and there's a lot of football to play between now and then. Liverpool could genuinely have a chance, but you've also got to look at what are West Ham going to do. West Ham are going to play.
They're good, then.
They're playing on Sunday. Really, yeah, and West Ham could be in that running as well, but there is half a chance here for Liverpool. On Brendan Rodgers, though, do you think it's fair to label him a serial bottler?
Well, all I will do is I will come back to this. Brendan Rodgers got Manager of the Year for us in 2013-14, and we lost the title, and people like to pin it on Gerrard's slip, on the fact that Suarez didn't play the start of the season, so we didn't have enough goal difference, this, that, and the other. It goes down to one man, and it's him, because I remember that Chelsea game. Do you know what we needed to win the league from that game, Terry? We needed the draw. And Chelsea were playing Thomas Kalash at the back, who had never played a senior game of football before. And you know what Brendan Rodgers decided to do? Go gung-ho against Jose Mourinho. But before Jose Mourinho had his downfall and all that, this is a Jose Mourinho that just come back from countering the living life out of La Liga. This was what he wanted. It's just that game management. Crystal Palace, when we went 3-0 up, I know we needed goals for goal difference, but that's one of them ones where you go, we got 3 goals here. We've got Anfield last day of the season. against Newcastle, there's a chance. Let's just shut up shop here and take it back to where we've got our fans, where we can really put the pressure on. He decides he wants to go for 5 or 6, and we all know what happened then with Mr. Dwight Gale popping up. He lacks common sense. That's what I think the biggest issue is. He lacks common sense for a manager.
Mate, I hear you on that completely. Tom, thank you for sharing that insight with us, mate. Really appreciate it, buddy. Top man indeed. We're going to go back to Ladimus in a moment. Before him, we're going to go to Mark. Mark's here with us. What you saying, bro? You're on mute right now.
All right, Terry.
How you doing, bro? What do you want to say?
Yeah, I'm a Chelsea fan. Very happy today to see Leicester get lapped up as usual. Brendan Rodgers is shit. Maddison is shit. Bakayoko's better than Maddison. Werner is better than Vardy. Mendy's better than Schmeichel. We're going to slap them in the league and the FA Cup final. Leicester are shit. In fact, next season, Leicester are not finishing top 4. You heard it here first. That's all I have to say.
There we go, Mark. Thanks for coming on, mate, and having us. He's coming here taking shots. Man's taking shots. We're going to go to Kendall next. Of course, her team was scintillating tonight. Joe Willock, 4 games. He scored on the bounce. Callum Wilson, I know Kendall's got a soft spot for Callum Wilson, to be fair, like most women have, to be honest, but she's here with us now. How you doing?
Yeah, really, really good after that. Hasn't ruined my weekend for once on a Friday kickoff, so absolutely over the moon, genuinely over the moon with the performance. Like, I can't really find a negative apart from the man marking tonight was really poor throughout the game, even though the defending was really good. Man marking was pretty poor, but other than that, overjoyed. Like, genuinely, I think that's probably the first half. I think was probably the best 45 minutes under Steve Bruce at his tenure, to be honest. So yeah, absolutely over the moon.
It pretty much makes you safe. I know it isn't official yet, but you're not going to go down now, which is great. And at the same time, you have really thrown the cat amongst the pigeon now in the sort of top 4 race. How do you see that going now? Brendan Rodgers, a serial bottler, Liverpool and Spurs stuttering. Could you see West Ham sort of sneaking in now?
I mean, what's to say they're not going to? The form that they've been on this season, they've been. Oh, sorry, my lights just fell off. That went well. The form that they've been on this season's been phenomenal, so I can't see why they wouldn't. If they keep on the form, if Lingard stays on his form, then they have every right to be there the same as everybody else. But yeah, I think Chelsea will probably get it now. Obviously, their form is settling down and they're really, really doing well. Tuchel's got them playing fantastic. So yeah, I think top four, well, second, third and fourth race will be very, very interesting now with, coming at this crucial last part of the season.
And what's going on with Newcastle? Because I keep reading half stories here and there. The takeover might be happening still. If it doesn't, how likely is Steve Bruce to be there next season?
I think we've got him for another year, regardless. I've said this all along. I said if we've got him for another year, regardless of what happens. Sorry, you're just gonna have to deal with the darkness. Don't know what's happening with my ring light today. I think regardless of what happens, we're gonna have him for another year. It's going to be a case of he's only got a year left on his contract. So I said if we went down, we'd have him because he's got the record number of promotions to the Premier League from the Championship. And if he stayed up, he's done the job he's meant to. So, I think regardless either way now, we're going to have him for another year if there's no takeover. If there is a takeover, then I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to be taking us over or what. So, if there is no takeover, I think he's here for the end of his contract.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's with the kind of takeover semi-pending, it's probably just best to stick with someone like him. You wouldn't want to get rid of him, bring in someone you all like, and then a new owner comes in and doesn't like that person. It would just be a sort of a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be no point because, again, if Mike Ashley I think this is why he's held off as long as he has, because we were all calling for Steve Bruce's head, the beginning of the season, and then especially in December when we got beat by Sheffield United, and everyone was calling for his head then. But it's understandable if the takeover maybe is on the edge, or Mike Ashley believes that there is going to be a takeover. You wouldn't bring another manager in for him to have a month in the job and then to be gone. It just is no point. And plus, I don't think he obviously wants to play Steve Bruce, £4 million to sack him. So yeah, I think you're completely right. I understand it. Why? Nick Shaw, my ring light's having a nightmare. In this time when we've won as well, can you believe it? But yeah, I can completely see it, and there really is no point. So we'll see what happens in in the next few weeks with this arbitration thing going on, the claim that's being put forward against the Premier League. So we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen with it.
No, listen, I hear that completely. It will certainly throw the cat amongst the pigeons if you do get it, in terms of the money that's coming in and, you know, the relaxing of FFP and other things. It's definitely going to shake things up. I think the biggest club to be fearful of it will be Arsenal, because it's somebody else that they're going to have to hurdle in recent times.
Well, we didn't bother them last weekend, did we? Like, can you believe we played like that tonight and we played the way we did last weekend? Like, obviously, Joe Willock is literally the cog in the wheel, because we had him tonight again and we looked more attacking. Last week, we missed out because obviously he was ineligible against his parent club. So, yeah, he's just the cog in the wheel for me. I really would like to see him sign in the summer. I don't know whether that's going to happen. I've fallen in love with loan players in the past, like Valentino Lazaro last season, like Remy in the past, Salomon Rondon, who was great under Rafa. We've never signed any of them. So I'd be very surprised if we do, especially as we say, with this whole takeover thing. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Why would Mike Ashley then want to go and spend 20 million on a player that might not even, like, he's not going to see the benefits of? So yeah, I really want this arbitration, this court case to be done as soon as possible, because then we can start building for life in the Premier League next season and hopefully, you know, progress. But we'll see what happens. I really don't know.
No, I hear you. And I think, you know, Willock's had a similar impact for you to what we've seen with Jesse Lingard at West Ham, where it's just maybe a bit less pressure, maybe a little bit more space and time, because teams they don't sit as deep against you. And he's really kept me in so many important goals, equalizers, winners, opening goals. He's been sensational.
Absolutely, like, honestly unbelievable. I think it's a matter of game time. Same with Jesse Lingard, same with obviously Joe Willock. They just weren't getting game time at their clubs, and you know, these clubs unfortunately carry a big weight on your shoulders, regardless of who you are and who you play, especially if you've come through their system, which is even worse because fan pressure's there. They want, you know, these homegrown players, if you will, the academy players, to do well. Yeah. So there is a huge amount of pressure. Lingard has exceeded what anybody probably thought he would going to West Ham. And Joe Willock is, you know, now scored 5 absolutely crucial goals for us in the crucial stage of the season where we need to be safe. So yeah, both absolutely amazing impacts. Obviously Lingardinho a little bit more, and the Willockinho, but yeah, both really, really impactful players. And you know, who knows what's going to happen with either of them next season? I really don't know. Yeah,
they may make Man United and Arsenal respectively quite a bit of money because they've proven themselves very valuable. Kendall, thanks for coming on, and I'm sure you'll be back hosting your show next Friday at this time. So
yes,
we'll
absolutely.
Soon, right? See you later.
Yeah, see you then.
Yeah, see you later. Bye. We're going to go to Latimer's Prime next on the show. Comment here says Liverpool will make the top 4. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for anyone. Chelsea are a shoo-in. West Ham. If West Ham win their next 2 games, they're going to do it. And I've heard a little rumor today. I don't know how true it is. I haven't checked. Declan Rice might be back. And if Declan Rice is back, they're going to do it. We're going to Man Like Latimus next. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, thank you.
You're still very quiet.
Hello?
You're still very quiet.
Why?
I don't know. I'll do a manual turn up of your mic here. Speak for us now.
Hello?
Yeah, just talk.
All right, cool. Something Neeks mentioned that I want to really focus on, because I've been talking about this all season. Johnny Evans. If Johnny Evans was playing tonight, Leicester don't lose that game. He is so important for them defensively. That Fofana, he's a good centre back, and so is who's the other guy, Soyuncu. But they are quite young, and they need leadership amongst them, and they don't seem to have that. Even I was watching Schmeichel play, and he's a very good goalkeeper. I rate him, but tonight he was just quite shambolic. He could have done better for. Was it the 3rd goal or the 4th goal Wilson got, where it was a ball played in, and then Fofana shouldn't be beaten like that, as Schmeichel, I think, makes a save, and then Wilson gets the rebound. Like, it's just stupid little mistakes that with someone in there with experience and leadership doesn't let them make. Also, Brendan Rodgers, he needs to, and I don't know what it is, but he needs to, when it comes into the run-in, Does he? Maybe it's something where he overthinks it or something. But he just needs to find a way to switch and focus, because he did it last season. But the little excuses were the fact of he had injuries. You can't use that excuse this season again, because you have a bit of squad depth now. Ian Nacho has come into form the last 2 months. Your injuries can be afforded to you again, especially when you had such a big gap and such a big lead in the top 4.
Why do you think, though, that 2 years running they look like they could fall away, and just Brendan Rodgers' whole career in the Prem at bigger clubs has just been bottle job after collapse, after falling away, after bottle job, season in, season out? It just happens to him habitually. Is that a him thing, or is it just unfortunate? What's your opinion?
He is a good coach, maybe a great coach, I guess you could say. But again, you remember when I said the bracket of him, Poch, and maybe even Ollie. When it comes into the final stretch where you're determining whether you're challenging for the league to win it, or it's in terms of, say, getting top 4, the elite level managers are able to push over that line, whether it is injuries and finding a way to get through that, or you have to play sides that are better than you, or you're playing sides that are worse than you, but it's keeping your players focused and having them not drop in mentality. I think Rodgers just doesn't have that, unfortunately, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It just means he's not an elite level manager. It's not a bad thing, but it's just is what it is. United fans saying that all of a sudden saying that I want Brendan Rodgers. I mean, he is better than Poch, but it's not. If the manager you want is not a massive upgrade on Ollie, meaning an elite level manager, then you might as well just keep Ollie, because it's not going to be a big difference.
Yeah, no, mate. Listen, I think what Rodgers would do, I think Rodgers would end up infuriating Manchester United fans more than Ollie, because the football would be prettier, it would be more attractive, and then we'd be let down in the same way. The expectations would grow and be even bigger, and the bottle element. Oh, we'd hit that ground so hard. It would be, you'd fall from a high height. The pain would be worse because you wouldn't see it coming. Brendan Rodgers has this ability for his beautiful football. And this is just life for you. When things are pretty or they're aesthetically pleasing, you don't view them in the same way, you know? And that's what happens with him. But no, listen, I'm not gonna change my mind about Rodgers being a bottle job until he wins something or achieves something of high, like a big achievement, winning a Premier League. Getting a team like Leicester into the top 4 is a massive achievement. Finishing 5th or 6th isn't a bad season for Leicester, but 2 season run-ins to be clear, to be away, to be solidly in the top 4, and then to fall out of it in the last 5 or 6 games, it isn't a good look for him and his CV. Listen, bro,
but then all of a sudden,
go on, mate.
Sorry, then all of it. But the thing is, they're in the FA Cup final. So if they beat Chelsea, I don't want this to happen, but they beat Chelsea, all of a sudden you switch that narrative, and it's of we finished 5th and we won the FA Cup. It's still a season.
Let's see what he does. And if he does that, you know, if he wins his last 3 Premier League games and wins an FA Cup, then I will stop calling him that. But I can't until do you know what I mean? I can't. I used to look at Andy Murray, the tennis player, the amount of semi-finals and finals that he didn't win, but just didn't turn up in. It wasn't that, and this is the point. This is the thing when I say about a bottler. Sometimes harder with football because it's a team sport. But Andy Murray would be a great example. He could play until he won his first slam. He would play amazing tennis until he got to a semi or a final, and then it would be like he'd never picked up a racket before. And you sort of look at it and be like, see, that's mentality. That's in your head as opposed to your physicality. And I look at Brendan Rodgers as a manager like that. But let's see what happens. Listen, Prime, great call as ever. We'll see you tomorrow after the Man City-Chelsea game, mate. Speak to you soon. Enjoy your evening, my brother. Take care, bro. Thank you. Next up, we're going to go to Ryan here. Ryan's got the best color hoodie I've ever seen on in my life. What are you saying, Ryan?
Hey, Terry. How you doing, man? I'm very happy about the win.
Yeah, cool. Where are you calling from?
From Ottawa.
Really? That's where I've been Ottawa a few times. My hockey team, the Sens, are obviously from Ottawa. Great city, great place. Thanks for calling in. Who do you support, bro?
I support Newcastle, actually.
Okay, nice.
It's very rare. I feel like the only fan in the city, to be honest. I've never seen anyone else, and anyone that thinks that jersey just thinks I'm wearing a hockey ref shirt. because of black and white. Yeah.
I hear you on that. Speak to me about your team tonight because you were scintillating.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Like we caught Leicester high up with the counterattack, and they just seemed like so high up, and it was a good game plan finally from Bruce. Like it finally worked out. And to be honest, like we missed a few chances from like St. Maximum, but I thought Callum Wilson was pretty clinical, and I thought we pounced off of Soyuncu and Fofana's mistakes because, I mean, what the previous callers said too, it's so true. Like I think without Johnny Evans, like Soyuncu and Fofana look so lost in the back. But yeah, I think this is a good step for us too because it basically confirms that we're not going to get relegated now, I think.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. Baz here, one of our members, says, big up to my
Ottawa, I guess.
Ottawa is what you say, but Terry sends really go Leeds. Hang on, how can you be from Ottawa but support the Maple Leaf? How can you do that?
I see that a bunch of times with people, to be honest. There's people that support the Montreal Canadiens too, like they're in Ottawa as well.
I think it's a disgrace to not support a club in the city that you're from. I'm a Man United fan from London. There we go. I'm only messing, Baz. I'm only messing with you, bro. Yeah, listen, you're very good tonight. It keeps you in the league. How desperate are you to keep Joe Willock next season?
Oh, yeah, I want him so badly. Like, this is the best loan I've seen probably since Rondon, to be honest. And he's been crucial to us because we've needed that kind of box-to-box mid. And he's been that. Like, he's already outscored Jeff Hendrick. Like, I think he's second behind Callum Wilson, too. And considering it's under Brucey ball, like, I think he's done exceptionally well.
Yeah. No
but
doubt.
I feel like it'll be hard trying to get him from Arsenal, though, just because, like, Mike Ashley wants to, like, he's going to court with the Premier League right now. So, like, I think it'll be the same situation as previous years where we just got to fight relegation and just hope during the summer the takeover goes through.
Well, if the takeover goes through, what I can promise you is this. If the takeover goes through and you start spending money like City and Chelsea, within 5 years, there'll be loads of Newcastle shirts in where you are. I tell Aaron know that in the mid-90s when Newcastle were challenging and doing well in the Prem, so many Newcastle fans with London.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is, Terry. Like, everyone in Canada, like, Newcastle's almost anonymous. Like, you still people, like, I still see people everywhere rocking, like, Man United, Arsenal, all these kits, even from work. Like, there's people supporting a top 6 team, and then like your Real Madrids and stuff. But like, and like, honestly, during the past few years, like, Man City's been on the incline with like their success. So I won't be surprised, and like, I'll feel good about it because I've been supporting this club since I think 2015. It was that season where we beat West Ham at the end of the season. And
what made you pick, just out of interest, what made you pick Newcastle?
Okay, so it was just my first Premier League game, like, I watched, that I was able to see it finally on TV, because in Canada, like, it seemed for me I could only watch like World Cup games and Euros. And finally, like, I watched the last game of the 2014-15 season, I think, against West Ham. And it's a bit of an underdog story, but Jonas Gutierrez comes on and like he beat testicular cancer, actually. And like, Sissoko scored the first goal. He comes on as a sub and he basically like saves us from relegation. I just like got attached with the club. Like, I never thought about any other like big team like Man United or like Arsenal, Chelsea. None of these teams. Like,
you know what? Sorry, Mike. Go on. Sorry, continue your story. Sorry.
It just stuck with me to like the whole summer after that game. The whole summer, I just spent my time like looking up the whole history of the club, and I just stuck by it. And like, it's been rough for like 5 years, but as soon as this takeover goes through, like, I'll be so happy.
No, I bet. And do you know what as well? I like hearing that, because you picked a team maybe a little bit older later on in life than a lot of fans, for instance, in England do, and a lot of us are forced into supporting our dad's team. I wasn't. My dad let me and my brothers pick, and we all picked our own individual teams. And mine was very similar to you. Really, it was. I'm gonna just go. It was when you're young. It's like it's just a random team you pick, but as you say, you then get connected. You then fall in love. You then learn about them, and they become your team, and you can't get away from them. And listen, for your sake, I hope the takeover goes through, and then you get to see, what I witnessed as a young man, Newcastle being a very competitive team. with the likes of Alan Shearer and Faustino Esprilla, David Ginola, Albert. Like, you had some serious players in those mid-90s. And you very, very nearly won a Premier League as well. So maybe that will return. Bro, I really appreciate the call, Ryan. It'd be great to hear from you again, man. You take care of yourself, buddy. All the best.
Yeah,
Thank you. Top man, top man. I was going to ask him, he's got like plastic all around he looks like in his basement. It looks like he's about, you see in like gangster films where they lie in a room with plastic and they shoot someone so the blood don't splatter. I don't know why I was thinking that. We're going to go to Christian next on the show. Christian, welcome to the terrace, mate. What do you want to say?
Well, right now I want to say big up from Barbados, right?
Yes, bro.
People love to disrespect Ollie a lot, right? Last season around November, when we battled the Champions League group stage, a lot of people were saying get Brendan Rodgers, get Pochettino, get all these men. Look at Brendan Rodgers right now. Bottling top 4 every season. Right now, Brendan Rodgers isn't ready. He's not ready for Champions League. Brendan Rodgers isn't ready for Champions League.
Mate, I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. There are so many desperate Man United fans whose disdain for Ollie clouds their judgment when it comes to managers. We might play slightly, as Nick said earlier, the football might be prettier, but are we actually going to achieve what people want from us? The answer is no. We're just not.
Because there's so many issues. You have the issues with the owners, okay? Then we have, our double pivot, obviously. You compare our double pivot to other elite teams in the Champions League, Barcelona, all these other teams. There's a lot of issues. So just because we get Poch or Brendan Rodgers doesn't mean that we will go all the way. We might get semi-finals and go out, or quarterfinals and go out, but we won't go all the way. So we have to appreciate Ollie more. The board have to back Ollie with the players that he need and not no alternatives. No player from the championship. I heard we were aiming for Jude Bellingham. Like how?
Mate, I just couldn't agree with you more on that point there at all. If we're gonna change Ollie, it needs to be someone who is proven, an elite manager at the very highest degree. Listen, my guy, thank you very much for calling in, bro. All the best and enjoy the rest of your day, my guy. Thank you very much, top man, Christian. Thank you. What an amazing evening! You get a call from Ottawa, you get a call from Barbados, you get a call from man like Neeks in Northeast London. Do you know what I mean? Like it's from all over the world. Next up. We are now going to one of the most exotic places, one of the most beautiful places. The tans are amazing. The teeth are bright white. We're going all the way to Essex, and we're going to speak to Jem. What you saying, bro?
That is a great intro. I'll give you that.
No, right? You're getting better at it.
Yeah, literally. Listen, Brendan Rodgers, it's getting to the point where it gets boring. The guy just likes bottling it. Constantly bottling it. Like he's perfect for Spurs, right? What is it that Spurs want? They don't want to win things. They just want to play pretty football. That's what he does at Leicester. He plays pretty football and he bottles it. So yeah. I think Spurs should go for him. He fits their model, and it's getting to the point now where you can't even say it's the players. So I'm looking at the manager.
Spurs have gone for him.
Have they?
3 weeks ago, they approached Brendan Rodgers, and he said no. The only way it's going to happen is if they offer him ridiculous money.
Why though? I don't get it.
He thinks at the moment that he's very comfortable at Leicester. Remember, he can bottle it at Leicester, and it don't really matter. We'll call him. The only reason I'm calling him a bottle job because he keeps getting Man United fans keep saying that he would take us forward. Him bottling it at Leicester is fine. Leicester are not expected to be in the top 4. They're not even expected to be in the top 6. So he's punching above his weight. But he
can also do that at Spurs, though, Terry.
Nah, but I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can. Like, if he bottles the top 6 with Spurs, he's going to get sacked. He has to make the top. Spurs have still set their standard. If you've got to make the top 4 as you're out of here. at Leicester, he can come 8th and play pretty football, and he's looked at as a hero. I think he loves getting linked to the big clubs, but he'll never take one. He ain't good enough.
It must be getting to the point now, and I'm talking about people that are fans of Leicester Football Club. They can clearly see that they're competing at the highest level each year. We have done for back to back, and it's very clear that they've got a manager that consistently cannot get them across the line. So yeah, you can point the finger at the players, and there might be a slight mentality issue there, but you have to look at the manager here. And for me, if I was Leicester, if he doesn't make it, Terry, at the end of the season, if I was a Leicester board, I'd get rid of him.
Yeah. Mate, I hear you, but it's not happening in a month of Sundays. But I hear you, bro. Listen, Jem, thanks for coming on, mate, and having you top man. Appreciate that. Listen, everyone who's tuned in this evening, thank you. I'm going to go and enjoy the new Mighty Ducks series on Disney. It's very, very good indeed. Gordon Bombay's back. Last week I watched it, and some of the alumni were back. Some of the original Ducks were back from when I was a kid. I am old. But there we go. Listen, I'm sorry to everyone else who's waiting backstage. I can't get you on right now. There's literally 12, 13 people there. Tomorrow, though, we're back with more Lamin in the house here. Says Champions League final at the Spurs Stadium would be the icing on the cake. Are they thinking of moving it to London? That'd be interesting. Smash like and share button, people. Back tomorrow morning with more content. Until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless you.